The wind howled across the Great Basin desert, whipping spirals of sand that flayed the skin like razors. Amelia Hart tasted dust and blood, her cheek pressed to the burning ground by the iron grip of black-robed priests. Their chants of discipline were only a prettier name for cruelty. The sun judged her from above, merciless and golden, while the cracked earth beneath her body felt like the grave she had been promised. Then a single word cut through the prayers like a bullet. Basta. Every head turned. A lone rider emerged from the heat shimmer, horse stepping slow, deliberate, kicking up red dust that hung in the air like gunsmoke. Hat low, shotgun across the saddle, eyes the color of storm clouds over the Humboldt. The priests faltered. Amelia's heart slammed against her ribs. Salvation or damnation, she couldn't tell yet. But the desert itself seemed to hold its breath, and far off, thunder growled inside the earth, as if something ancient had just decided the story of Silver Ridge was about to change forever. The rider stopped 10 paces away. The horse, a black Andalusian with a white blaze, snorted and pawed the ground, restless beneath the weight of its master's silence. One of the priests, the oldest, found his voice first. "This is consecrated ground, stranger. Ride on." The man swung down from the saddle with the fluid ease of someone born to it. Boots hit the dirt without a sound. When he pushed the brim of his hat back, Amelia saw the face she had both dreaded and prayed for in the darkest nights of the last 3 years. Javier de la Vega. The same sharp cheekbones, the same scar that ran through his left eyebrow like a lightning strike, the same mouth that had once whispered her name in Spanish so soft it felt like sin. Only now the softness was gone. His gray eyes were colder than the Sierra winter. He spoke again, low, in the Castilian of southern Spain that still made her knees weak even when she hated him for it. "Soltadla. Ahora. Release her. Now." The youngest priest spat on the ground. "She has been judged by the council of the faithful. The woman is excommunicated. Her soul belongs." Javier moved faster than thought. The shotgun was off the saddle and leveled before the boy finished his sentence. The double barrels stared like twin black moons. "I don't care whose soul she belongs to," he said, switching to English so every man there understood. "Today her body belongs to me." Amelia's breath caught. 3 years ago he had vanished without a word the morning after her husband's funeral, leaving only a silver medallion on her pillow and a wound that never closed. And now he rode in like some avenging saint to save her from the very men who once called him brother. The head priest, Father Elizondo, lifted a trembling hand. "Javier. You were banished. If you interfere." "Banished?" Javier smiled, and it held no warmth. "You mean after you burned my mother at the stake for witchcraft, because she read the stars better than you read your Bible?" "Yes. I remember." A ripple of unease passed through the circle. The wind picked up again, hot and furious, tugging at the priest's robes like it wanted to tear them off. Elizondo's eyes narrowed. The council voted. The woman defied the marriage sacrament. She refused to remarry within the faith. She brought shame. "She's a widow, not a slave," Javier cut in. "And the only shame here is yours." He took one step forward. The priests took one step back. The balance had already shifted. Amelia felt it in the sudden looseness of the hands pinning her wrists. Javier's gaze flicked down to her. For a heartbeat the mask slipped, and she saw raw pain flash across his face, pain in something fiercer. Then the mask was back. "Amelia," he said quietly, "can you stand?" She tried. Her legs shook, but pride forced them straight. One of the priests made to grab her again. The shotgun roared. The blast tore a chunk of earth 6 inches from the man's boots. Nobody moved after that. Javier slung the weapon, crossed the distance in 3 strides, and pulled her up by the arm. His touch burned worse than the sun. Up close he smelled of horse, leather, gunpowder, and something darker, like smoke from a funeral pyre. "You came back," she whispered, throat raw. I never really left, he answered in Spanish, so low only she heard. Te he estado cuidando desde las sombras, mi amor. Pero ya no más sombras. I've been watching over you from the shadows, my love. No more shadows. He turned to the priests. Anyone who touches her again answers to me. And I promise you, the desert is wide and graves are easy to dig. Father Elizondo's face twisted with rage. You will burn for this heresy, Javier de la Vega. Both of you. Javier only smiled again. Then I'll see you in hell, Padre. I've already reserved us seats. He lifted Amelia onto the Andalusian saddle, then vaulted up behind her. His arms circled her waist, hard, possessive, the way it had the night they first sinned beneath the cottonwoods by the dry riverbed. She hated how safe it still felt. The horse wheeled. Dust exploded behind them as they thundered away from the circle of black robes and dying prayers. They rode west, toward the jagged teeth of the Ruby Mountains, the sun bleeding red across the sky. Behind them, Silver Ridge shrank to a cluster of adobe and lies. After an hour Javier slowed the horse to a walk. The wind had calmed, only the heat remained, thick and intimate. Amelia finally found her voice. Why now? He was silent so long she thought he wouldn't answer. Then, because they were going to stone you at dawn. And I decided I wasn't going to watch another woman I love die for the crime of being free. The word struck her like a lash. She twisted in the saddle to look at him. You left me. 3 years, Javier. Not a letter. Not a sign. My husband dead in the ground, the town calling me whore, and you just disappeared. His jaw clenched. I had to. They would have killed you to get to me. The council wanted me silenced after what I did to Father Mateo. You burned the chapel, she said flatly. Everyone knew the story, how the young Spanish heretic set fire to San Rafael's chapel the night they executed his mother. I burned the lie, he corrected. And I've been burning ever since. She wanted to hit him. She wanted to kiss him. Instead she turned forward again, staring at the darkening horizon. Where are we going? Virginia City first. There's a train north at midnight. After that, anywhere that isn't here. And then? He leaned close, lips brushing the shell of her ear. Then, Amelia Hart, we finish what we started the night before I left. Only this time, no one will stop us. Not God. Not the devil. Not the council of the faithful. His hand slid lower, possessive over the curve of her hip, and despite everything, heat pooled low in her belly. Far behind them, church bells began to toll in Silver Ridge, frantic, furious, calling the faithful to arms. Ahead, the first stars pricked the purple sky like promises. Amelia closed her eyes and leaned back against the man she had never stopped loving, even when she hated him most. The desert stretched endless before them, vast and merciless and free. And for the first time in 3 years, she breathed without fear.